Hello Space Cadets, and welcome to another tutorial video for Elite Dangerous. For this video, I'm taking it back to the basics. I want to show you the basic flight controls, basic menu controls, and the basic interactions that you're going to be having with the galaxy on your explorations. So the setup that I like to use is just the basic mouse and keyboard setup. A lot of people like to use the Oculus Rift or some other tools related to that, but I like to keep it pretty simple, especially since I can't really afford most of the rest of those things. So let's get right into it. The basic controls in order to look up and down is just move your mouse up and move your mouse down. In order to twist your ship around, push your mouse left and push your mouse right. In order to look left and right, you're going to use the A and D keys. Now you have 4 different strafe keys. You have the left strafe, which is Q. You have the right strafe, which is E. You have lift up, which is R. And then you have drop down, which is F. In order to speed your ship up, you're going to use W. You see my ship speeds up. In order to slow down, I'm going to use S. If you push S again, that'll put you in reverse. If you push the X key, that will stop your ship. If you're moving forward, I'm going to move forward again, and you press the tab button, you're going to boost your ship. I'm going to go ahead and stop my ship again. In order to look around your ship, the default key is the center mouse button. So I'm going to press that and look around my ship here. If I look over to the left, I can see my navigation menu and transactions and so forth. If I look over to the right, I can see my status and all the rest of those menus. If I press my center mouse button again, it snaps to the center. So the next thing I'm going to do is show you some of the menu interactions in order to show you the rest of the controls. The reason I want to show you the menu is so we can actually dock with this space station. So I'm going to come over here in my navigation. In order to move around in your menus, the E and Q keys are your tabs. So I'm going to come over here to Contacts. Now, Canwar Enterprise is the space station that's right in front of me. So I come over here, I go to Canwar Enterprise, I'm going to push space in order to interact with this, and then I'm going to say request docking. So I use the W and S keys to move up and down, and space in order to request docking. Snap back to the center, and you can hear that my docking request was granted. So now I need to find the access point for this space station. So you can see it spinning around here, and we see the red and green lights. That is the entry point. So we're going to start making our way towards this. I'm going to speed up. I'm going to use my F key to get myself in a better position. I'm going to slow down a little bit as I'm lining up with the front of the space station. This is right about where you want to be lined up. So you can see a ship right in front of us. We're going to dodge that guy. Now we're looking for the landing pad they gave us, which is number 6. If I flip over here, you can see this is number 6, so I'm going to move directly towards that. And then I'm going to put down my landing gear. Landing gear by default is the L button. Now as we make our way towards the landing pad, we can see a whole bunch of junk because somebody just got blown up. Beyond that, we can see a different HUD shows up where the radar just was. So we're going to take that HUD, move our circle into the center, and then I'm going to use the F key again to drop down and land on the pad. Alright, now I've landed on the pad. I'm going to show you guys how to lift off and take off out of a space station. We're going to turn around and go to launch. I'm going to press space to confirm that. It's going to flip my ship around. And we're going to move out. It's going to release my ship. As soon as it releases my ship, you can hear that clicking noise, so I'm going to lift back up again. Now, while you're still inside the dock, it's a good idea to keep your landing gear down so you move a little bit slower. As you see, as I'm moving along here, I'm moving at about half my throttle. If I press my landing gear, I start moving a lot faster. The next control is Flight Assist. So Flight Assist is basically like, if you're flying around in space and you cut off your engines, you're just going to keep flying in the same direction that you normally would. What they use in here is something called flight assist in order to slow you down. So if I stop, I actually become zeroed out as far as my movement in space. So I'm going to turn around here, face back towards the dock, and you'll see it's not getting any bigger or any smaller, so my relative position is staying the same. However, if I start backing up, and then I hit my flight assist
off,
then I'm still backing up, even though I haven't put on the engines anymore. So it's more realistic space movement. The next control I'm going to show you is how to target what's ahead of you. By default, this should be the T key. So I see I press it once, I deselect Canware Enterprise, and you see there's a little green square up there. I'm going to press it again, and that targets it. So that's anything that's directly in front of you, that should allow you to target it. Now, as I told you earlier, you can free look to your panels, but there's an additional couple of ways you can do this. One, you can use the number keys. By pressing 1, I'll look over to the left. By pressing 2, I'll focus on my radar. By pressing 3, I focus on my right panel. Now, if you press the same button twice, it returns you back to the normal view. Also, you can hold down the Shift key and use your A, S, and D keys in order to look around as well. You press Shift again to move back to the center. Now, I've already shown you how to do a docking at a space station and an undocking, but I'm going to show you some of the other basic things like entering hyperspace and jumping into a destination. So the first thing we're going to do is speed up a little bit. Now, any of you who don't know what mass locking is, there's a little button on the bottom right that says mass locked, and I'm going to sort of look at it over here. It says mass locked, landing gear, and cargo scoop. So if you're mass locked, that means you're too close to an object that is slowing down or removing your ability to jump into hyperspace. So if you're too close to the space station, you can't get into hyperspace until you get unmass locked. You get far enough away to where it's not, I guess, interrupting your targeting computer or something like that. So we're far enough away now, and by default, this should be the J key. So my frame shift is charging, and we're going to jump into hyperspace.
2, 1, engage.
Now, you see we're in hyperspace. If I look around a little bit, I'm getting much closer to that moon very fast. So I'm going to slow down. In this case, I'm going to use the All Stop, which is the X button. I'm going to turn around and try to find Canware Enterprise again. Now, in order to be able to get in, you have to be within 1,000 kilometers. So we just so happen to be this close because we were already there. Once you're there, you can hit the J button again, and your destination lock will engage, and you can jump back in. I'm going to zero back out there. The next thing I'm going to show you is the map system. So by default, that's the M key. So I hit the M key, and now we can see our space map. Now this is just the star system that we're in, or the solar system that we're in right now. If I continue to zoom out by scrolling back on the mouse wheel, you can see it opens up a lot more stars. And if I were to go way, way out, as a lot of people first do, this is all explorable. Everything in here you can actually go and check out. There's a ton of space here, so we're going to get back in there. Zoom back in. And we're going to choose a star that's close. We're going to go to ENEC. So I'm going to click on this. And this one's one station away, so you don't actually have to do this. But if you're going further than that, you can plot your route here. Or you can check out the system view if you're looking for something specific within that system. But that's not in this tutorial. So we're going to plot that route. We're going to exit. And then you can see down here on the bottom left, there's a little circle with a blue dot inside of it. So we're going to take the blue dot and put it right in the center of those crosshairs. Now that I put that in the center of the crosshairs, I'm going to aim towards my system, which is ENEC. I'm going to speed up a little bit, and then I'm going to hit the J key again. So this is charging our frameshift drive, and this time we're actually jumping to another system.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Sorry, I actually used the wrong button there. So the J is by default, but I forgot I changed mine around. So I'm going to press the correct one. You can see it's charging a lot slower. This is because it's, instead of jumping into the solar system, it's jumping to a whole nother solar system. And now you guys get to see witch space for the first time.
1. Engage.
I think this is really cool. Mine's a little jittery, but it seems to do that every time I get into witch space. And whenever you jump out, it's going to pop you right next to the sun. So the first thing you want to do is face away from that sun so you don't get too close and overheat. So now that we've gone a little bit further away, I'm going to slow down. Now the next thing we're going to do is just jump right back, because I want to be back in my same system I was in. So before, I used the galaxy map in order to find that previous system. Now I happen to know the previous system I was in was Cerno. So I can come over here instead of actually going to the galaxy map, because it's close enough that I can just select it directly from here. So I'm going to use space, and I'm going to lock and engage hyperdrive.
Frameshift drive.
So now we can
charging.
see my frameshift drive is starting to charge. So while it's charging, I'm going to aim towards this, speed back up again, because it wants you to be at speed when you're jumping.
4.
And we're going to jump back.
2. 1. Engage.
Alright. Now we've jumped back into the system. So what I want to do is go find the same space station I was just at. So we're going to come back over here. We're in our navigation page. I'm going to scroll down until I find Kanwar Enterprise. I'm going to press space. I'm going to lock destination by pressing space again. So now, same thing as before. I want to put that little blue dot in the center of my crosshairs, and I'm going to travel over here. So this is going to take a minute, so I'm going to come back to you when I get there. Alright, so we are just about there. As you can see, we're about 10 light seconds away from Kanwar Enterprise, so as we continue to get closer, I'm going to keep my throttle right there in the center of this blue bar. That is the optimum speed for approaching an object. And we're going to wait until we get less than 1,000 kilometers away. As you see, we're getting down to 1.5 light seconds. And it keeps counting down. You'll see we can kind of get closer and closer. You can see that there's one object, that would be Kanwar Enterprise around a moon there. I'm just going to shift my ship around a little bit, get a better orientation for it. And just about there, 10 mm. I'm actually not sure what mm stands for. Almost there. And right there. So we're going to press our jump button to get out and jump again. Sometimes it takes a while to load in here. And we're back to Kanwar Enterprise. And that's it for the basic controls. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you liked the video, let me know by hitting the like button. Thanks. Have a great one.